I've recently been inspired by a series done by a young lad called Mike. I'll put his YouTube name up on the screen for it so you can go and have a look. But it's a great series that he's done on foraging, and he goes through each individual plant that can be found and what it can be used for. It's a great series, so I advise you to go and watch it. So like I say, it's inspired me to come out into my local woodland and see what wild edibles I can find on my doorstep. The book we're going to be using as reference is the same one Mike was using. It's Food for Free. It's from the Collins Gem series. You can pick this up for under a £5. It's a great book, and it goes through all the different plants, fungi, seaweeds, different things like that. All the different types of plants you can eat basically. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be going around the woodland now, picking out all the species of plant that everybody can recognise and easily identify. Okay, so let's go. The first plant we're going to look at is the ramson, or commonly known as the wild garlic. Just sat here now, I can smell the garlicky aroma, which is a sign for this particular plant. And just to be sure, you can take one of the leaves, just rub it in your hands, give it a smell, and that's unmistakable. Very oniony, garlicky smell. And that can be used in salads, on your sandwiches, can be chopped up for things like that, and is a great little edible, and it's got a very strong garlicky taste to it. You can eat the leaves, you can eat the flowers, and you can also eat the bulbs as well. So it's a very versatile plant. It can come as early as March, and then through from April right through till June. It's widespread throughout most parts of Europe, and can be found in damp woodlands, places like that. So that's the ramson, the wild garlic. Okay, this is another easy plant to identify. It's the wood sorrel. It flowers April till May time, and the flower has the 5 white petals with little sort of purple veins running through them, and as you look into the flower, sort of yellow down the bottom, and the leaf of the wood sorrel is a bit like clover. It's in like a heart shape, and these leaves have got like a citrusy sort of lemon flavour, which again can be used in salads. It's quite a pleasant taste, but I don't think you're supposed to eat too much of this, so don't go overboard on it. But it's like I say, it's a nice citrusy little addition to your salad, the wood sorrel. Okay, here's a plant that everybody knows, the common stinging nettle. Very versatile plant, full of nutrients, full of goodness. The young leaves can be picked, boiled to remove all the hairs, and can just be eaten with add a little butter or something like that. Can be eaten like that, and the water, once you've boiled the nettles, can be used as a tea. And like I say, they're full of goodness, full of nutrients. So everybody knows that one. Very easy to identify, the common nettle. Okay, this next one needs no introduction. The dandelion, which comes from the French name for tooth of the lion, Dandelion. You can see there from the leaf the resemblance of the teeth there. And these leaves, the younger leaves, can be picked and eaten and used in salads. The roots can be dug up, can be ground up, roasted on a fire, ground up and used as a coffee substitute, which doesn't contain caffeine. And you can also eat the flowers. Now, I learnt something the other day. I'll put a link up on the screen. There's a guy who tells you all about dandelions. It's fascinating how much you can learn about dandelions from this guy. All these individual yellow petals are actually separate flowers. They're all separate flowers. That's not just one flower, which I didn't know. And the dandelion also contains latex, which can be a bit of an irritant to some people. But again, a very versatile plant, very widespread and very easy to identify. Dandelion, the dandelion. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this stick to dig round the root. If you're careful, you see there the root, which can be chopped up, roasted over a fire, and used as coffee, as a coffee substitute. So that's something for you to try. This little plant is called Jack by the Hedge, commonly known as garlic mustard. It flowers April to June. It's widespread throughout Europe, and it's another one you can use in your salads if you like a bit of garlic. But this one has a more, as the name would suggest, more of a mustardy taste. It's not quite as strong as the wild garlic. Yeah, it's not quite as strong. But again, it's another one that's easy to identify. You've got the little white leaves with the 4 petals, and then the quite distinctive leaf as well. So another one for your salad, Jack by the Hedge or garlic mustard. Okay, I don't know about you, but this was a childhood favourite of mine. This is goosegrass or cleavers, but when you were a kid you knew it as sticky weed, and used to drive mum and dad mad with this stuff, and my little sister. But although predominantly a springtime plant, this can still be found later on in the year when there's snow and frost about, so that's worth knowing. It can be boiled up, and although it's a little bit stringy, it can be eaten. And the small round seed pods that appear later on, they can be roasted and used as coffee. So that's the goosegrass cleavers or sticky weed. Just checking up on the apple, starting to flower, and it won't be long before this is absolutely covered in apples, but not today. Okay, well this is a plant I've been looking for quite a while now. It's the pig nut. It's got quite a distinctive leaf pattern, which I'll do a close-up of later, and right at the end of the stalk right down the bottom of the end of the root is the pig nut, which you can eat. So what we're going to do, you've got to carefully dig round the root so as not to break the root off the pig nut, and I'm just going to dig down now and get that, and then we'll have another look. Okay, there's your pig nut. You can see it's on the end of the root there. Now I have to say they're hard work to dig up because those little stems break off really easily, but they're very plentiful around here. If there was only a couple I wouldn't have bothered digging it up, but there's quite a few. Well, there's a lot around here actually, so that'll be worth knowing. And what you can do is you can just clean that up like that. Just peel away all the skin and the muck. Like so. All the muck off. Should really rinse that, but I'm not that fussy, to be honest. Let's give it a bit of a clean. Okay. So there you go. There's your pig nut. And taste wise, it's a bit like a it's a bit like a radish sort of texture. Not quite the tang to it. A very earthy taste. Very nice. So there you go, the pig nut. Quite hard to dig up and very tasty. Very good. Right, I'm coming to the end of my time in the woods. I hope you've enjoyed our little search for wild edibles. We found some common species, and that's the way to go about it really. If you want to get into foraging, just start with the ones that you know that are easy to identify. Go out there, find them, taste them, and if you want to go a bit further and roast the dandelion roots and make some coffee, and try that as well. It's all good practice and it's all good skills to build up. But do make sure that you're 100% certain of these things before you start putting them in your mouth. That goes without saying really, but like I say, get out there, see what you can find. There's a lot more in these woods, but I need to do a bit more research myself, and they're not quite at the stage where you can recognise them as easily. So we'll come back at a later date and go over those. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Please comment and subscribe. I really appreciate your support. Okay, we'll see you on the next video.